Hi everyone. So I wanted to give a little bit of clarity about one aspect of the final project that can be, on its surface, a little bit more difficult to wrap your head around. And that is assigning call numbers to all of your information sources. Now, you're going to have a total of 22 information sources on your LibGuide, and each of those sources you need to assign a call number to. Now, we're doing that because over the past many weeks, you are learning not only about different information sources, but how libraries organize and where they place these information sources. And we have learned that the majority of libraries either use the Dewey Decimal as an organization system, and they assign Dewey Decimal call numbers, or they use Library of Congress as their classification system and use Library of Congress call numbers. And these are a little different and they're organized in different ways. And I'm not going to go over in this video exactly what those are again. You can go back to week 2 and 3 and review those. But what I'm going to do today is kind of go over how you can find and assign your own call numbers to your final project. Now, the first thing to remember about this is that you need to decide if you are going to use Library of Congress or you're going to use Dewey Decimal. You cannot use both inside one LibGuide. You have to choose one. So if you choose Library of Congress, you're going to be giving a Library of Congress call number to all 22 of your information sources, and you're not going to be utilizing, one information source has Dewey Decimal and the others have the Library of Congress. You're going to choose one. The next thing, you might be thinking, well, I understand how it's easy to find a book and give a book a call number, since all I have to do is search for that book in a library catalog and see what the call number is that's given to it. But how do I find a call number or assign a call number for a newspaper article or a website or a statistic or a YouTube video? And so I'm going to show you how to do that. It's actually quite simple. The main thing you need to remember is neither one of us are going to be looking at the call number so specific that it has to be like a long string of numbers and you have to get the cutter number right. No, we just want to make sure that you're kind of putting it in the right area, right? So the example I'm going to give is, let's say I want to add this video about spiders. The title is Why 8 Eyes Are Better Than 2 If You're a Spider. And so essentially, what is this video about? This video is about spiders. So, and it's educational, right? It's not entertainment. It's not fictional. It's a educational video about spiders. So I need to find out where educational information about spiders would sit in a library if it was a book, let's say. So I'm going to use Library of Congress. I'm going to pull up the website for Library of Congress classification. And this website is back in the weeks where we looked at classification systems. And Library of Congress is organized A through Z, and I'm guessing that spiders and information about nature is probably going to be under science. So it's Q. So that's my first indicator that a YouTube video about spiders that's educational will probably be in the Q section. But if I click on science, it tells me the subclasses of science. And so I can be a little bit more specific than just Q. All right, so these are the subclasses of science. Now, I'm guessing that zoology, because this is in arachnid, is probably going to be under this. It's not going to be under physics or astronomy or mathematics. It's probably going to be under zoology. So if I click zoology and notice that it's QL, so already we're even more focused on what this YouTube's call number will probably be. It's going to be in the QL section. So once I click on QL, I can see, okay, well, I'm not really looking at animal behavior or embryology and let's see. Well, I know that a spider is an invertebrate, but I know spider is not an insect. So it might be in this section for invertebrates, but since a spider is an arachnid, not an insect, it probably wouldn't be within this call number range, the 461 to 599. So it might be in the QL360 to QL461. And so you don't have to be super specific and go even deeper than that. That video, why 8 eyes are better than 2 if you're a spider, I would give the call number QL360 because it's telling me it is science, zoology, invertebrates. Now, you could maybe put it in anatomy since it is talking about spider eyes. So that's another option. You could potentially do QL801 as your call number for that. But that's just an example of how you can give a call number to a information source that is not typical. Now, the other way you could go about doing this is if you wanted, you could go to like the SAC library page. And you could search spiders, and you can kind of see maybe where zoology books about spiders would sit, or where would educational books about spiders sit in a library, and you can grab one of the call numbers from a similar like topic of a book, and that's how you can apply a call number to another area or to another information source that is not easy to find. So let's see. So here is a book, The Natural History of Spiders, right? It's telling me QL458.4 is the call number, which makes sense. That kind of fits in the exact area we were thinking based on this Library of Congress classification. All right. And, you can look down the common spiders of the United States, QL457. Yeah, so this is looking like what I'm going to grab for my call number. Now, the same thing works if you want to use Dewey Decimal. I would go to the Santa Ana Public Library and do searches in their library because they use Dewey Decimal. If you're going to use Library of Congress, you can use the Library of Congress classification website as well as the Santa Ana College Library catalog. There's also a website in week 2 and 3 about Dewey Decimal and how you can narrow that down. If you have questions about this, further questions, please reach out and ask us. We're also going to be going over this more in later weeks. So if you want more information about this, you can definitely find more later, but hopefully this is a good rundown and showing you a few examples on how you can apply call numbers to your 22 information sources for your final project.